Good morning, everyone. I am Karin Braxton, and today is November 29th, 2022, and I am finally live after 3 weeks of being sick. And the first week I didn't have, I had such terrible coughing. Second week I had laryngitis, and finally this week I can talk again. So I'm really thrilled. I was actually very excited to be coming on live today. Let's see if we can find each other now. And if you get connected, oh, there's Lisa. Thanks, Lisa. Glad you could make it. Let's see if we can see myself on my iPad. Here we go. Turn that volume off. Oops, can't get the Facebook did some, hey Jan, good to see you over there in Eastern Montana. I can't get this I can't get the volume to turn off. There we go. Okay, looks like, hey Martina, good to see you this morning too. Oh, good. It's wonderful to be back. I'm really excited. I woke up in the middle of the night. I was just excited about coming to you live this morning. And then I thought, oh no, Facebook has done some updates in the last few weeks. You know, they're always doing refreshes and new, whatever they call it, and updates. And then so things change all the time. So I couldn't figure out how to do the focus so I wouldn't get interrupted by things. I still didn't get that figured out because it's complicated. Everything changes all the time. Anyway, we have a lot this morning, and I am really excited about doing this with you. There's sort of a lot going on. We are coming up to a really big event, and it is on Thursday, December 1st already. Oh my goodness, can you believe it's December in a few days? We have the last chance list. This they do every year, Stamping Up. This shows we have things that are between 20% all the way up to 60% discounted. And it's all from this wonderful mini catalog. I have enjoyed this catalog so much. We've had it for 6 months. I've enjoyed having it a long time. Things are just now starting to run out, and it's been a great one. But ladies, as soon as this happens on Thursday, things will become depleted. So if there's something you want, I will work on getting this an email sent out today and tomorrow. And oh, I'm so glad your great-granddaughter. That was really a fun Saturday afternoon. I had a kits and cocoa on Saturday, and it was really fun. I had several ladies drop in. Martina was there with her great-granddaughter. She did a great job, too. I was really proud of her. I always loved 7th and 8th graders. I taught 7th and 8th graders, so those are my favorite ages. We also have a carrying over list. I know this is all backwards to you, but Stamping Up. I'm going to try to get an email out this afternoon. You'll have to click on it because this is long, and it's like 4 pages, very small print too. So I've actually, a friend in my leaders group did a large print edition, so that will be really nice. But you will have to click on that in order to see it from the email. So that's from the mini catalog. Now, we've already had the big sale on the annual catalog. That goes until May. So this one is going to end right after Christmas. I'm just going to take a drink of I've got some hot tea right here and a handful of cough drops. But I'm hoping I can make it through this okay. If I don't, I'll just have to start it up again or something if I start coughing. This is oh, hey, Carla, good to see you this morning. I better check these. Let's see, we have, hey, Linda, good to see you too. It's hard for me to keep talking and always check. So you girls just chat among yourselves and keep sending hearts and thumbs up and those of you who later are watching on Facebook or on YouTube, I'll put this on YouTube, plus all the directions. You have to go to more, or sometimes there's an arrow. Sometimes it says more. I think now it's saying more. So that's where I write the tutorial or the measurements. And it takes me about an hour to post all the pictures and get all these things onto Facebook, YouTube, everything downloaded. This is the new catalog that will be coming out it starts January 5th, and it's quite a bright Highland Heather and gorgeous grape, and the back is, there's just some gorgeous papers, designer papers. I was able to go to On Stage in Indianapolis. That's where I started getting sick, so it's been more than 3 weeks. And anyway, so we got to pre-order a few things. So starting next week, I will have Facebook Lives for the rest of December with brand new products from this catalog. Today's project will be the last Christmas one that I will do. So let's turn the camera down, and you can keep talking and chatting, and let's see what's here. Now, thanks for the thumbs up and the hearts. That helps Facebook analytics. That it's easier to find things then. Okay, close your eyes. Let's see if we can get this going down. There we go. I have a class tomorrow. I wanted to have it the last day of November because I didn't want to do it I usually do classes on Thursday, but this one's going to be on Wednesday, and it's based on the stamp called Hope and Peace. And I still have 2 openings in person, and I can take kits to ship. It's an excellent, excellent class. It is $35, or it is free with buying the stamp plus a total of $55. And it is really a good one. It's also carrying over to the next catalog. These are the cards we're making. We're going to do everything is with this flocked or this silver foiled paper. So you get a whole pack of paper, you get some snowflakes, you get some gems, and you get some of this tinsely twine. You get 3 items, and so these are the cards we're making. You're going to have to. Everything is cut except for the foil and the glitter paper, and that you have to cut by yourself. But you can see everything. It's very layered. It's very fun. It's just a beautiful class. And then this sweet little gnome with that pretty background. That's what we're making tomorrow. So if you're still interested, I can still accommodate just a few more people. And that is that. So today we're going to be working on the vintage Christmas stamp. I'm going to get this all, see if I can get it straightened out a little bit here. Okay, I just have this host code for November for just a few more days. Hey, Lisa. Thank you very much. This vintage Christmas stamp is in the mini catalog. It's on page 63. And when I first saw this, I really like vintage things. It's sort of I don't know, I really like vintage stamps. We don't have a lot of them, but it's on the page with the hybrid embossing folder. We're going to use that today also. That's the Ringed with Nature and the bundle, the tree embossing rings. So, and this stamp set is only $16. It's a photopolymer. That means we need to use a mat with it. So we're going to be sure we use this is a piercing mat that I've cut in half, but it's a great set of stamps. And we had this bottle punch last summer when it came out. In the annual catalog, it's still available, so it fits this large bottle. So that's that, and we're going to begin. I'm just going to grab a Kleenex really fast here. And we're going to start. The first card I'm going to do several things with masking today. We have masking paper that came out. You can also use Post-it notes, work really well too, as long as there's something sticky on the back like that top. I've used Post-it notes most of my life, but Stampin' Up! Does carry this masking paper. It's extremely sticky, so when you have a mask, it looks like this. You're going to stamp on the dull side, and then you pull it apart, and it's very, very, very sticky. And I usually put it on my clothes like that to take off a little of the stickiness after I cut it. You're going to see my mask in just a few minutes. And let's see once here. There'll be time today for me to talk a little bit as we go through things. And let me see if I can find my card. We're going to be using this Lights of Glow paper. I think it's sold out, but it wasn't. When I designed this class 3 weeks ago, more than 3 weeks ago, before I went to Indiana. And then, of course, it has sold out since then. But you can use any paper, of course, and maybe some of you bought it. And we've got gems. This is the card we're going to make. It's a joy fold card. And I've done other cards that are like flip-flop cards. This is sort of a standard joy fold card. Sometimes it's horizontal like that. Sometimes it's vertical. This one's going to be vertical. This one, they're both the same. This one I just made so you can tuck it under that little circle. But it goes like that. They're quite easy and quite fun to make. This one's going to have some masking, and I did some envelopes with that pretty paper. This is the bokeh paper that we have in that set. Some of it has gold, and that just makes a nice little Christmas set. Okay, here are the measurements. We're going to put some gems on top at the end. So we're going to get our card out, our pieces out, and we're going to start with Cherry Cobbler, a really good Christmas color. And it's the Cherry Cobbler is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. And I'm going to cut off 2 1/2 inches. So I'm going to bring my paper trimmer out. I'm going to cut off 2 1/2 inches. I have a lot of bases already cut into like there, and we'll save that little piece. That's all we need the cutter for. And there is the base of my card. So that was 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, just a regular top folding, and I cut off 2 1/2 inches. And then we're going to put, then on the inside, we're going to take our designer paper. This is probably one of my favorites, just a standard 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to put that on the inside. The back is pretty too. So we're just going to put that right there like that, take that off. Afterwards, I'll get this all typed up for you, and then you'll be able to see this. Now this bottom piece, I'm going to use the bokeh. I could use either one, but I'm going to use this. Bokeh is a photography term. That's sort of that blurred circle. And this is 2 3/4 by 4 inches. So we're going to put some adhesive on that. There's nothing hard about this at all. I've made lots of these cards. I just like this. It shows the nice variation of designer paper. So then we're going to do our flap. And I've taken some Cherry Cobbler. It's 3 inches by 8 inches. And then I've scored that in half by 4 inches. So 4 inches. And let's see if I can find the comments. There we go again now. There, hey Nancy, Jan. Now I can see y'all. Okay, so this is our flap part. So sometimes, I don't know, you can probably go back and look at my ladybug video. I did one that it's really gotten almost 2,000 likes, but I did a joy fold card. Joy folds are pretty fun, but that's a sideway one. This is going to be a top folding joy fold, and I'm going to put that right there. And then I'm going to attach this, put some seal on there, and I'm going to just stand up here, and I want to put half of it inside there like that and get it nice and straight, even on all my edges. That looks good. And then we're going to do, we have vanilla for the inside. I have 2 of these, 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. One is going to be for the inside, and one's going to be for the outside. we're going to do our stamping on it. So I think I'll just put the inside on to get it out of the way. I can always stamp on it even though it's glued on. We'll just put that right there. Okay, now this is going to go on the outside, and then we're going to do our stamping next. And let's get those things out. Let me see if I can find out everything I need. We've got some little bits right there, some little stitched circles. And let me get my piercing mat out. And there it is. We're going to do that. Got all my little things right here. Cherry Cobbler ink. It says a Merry Christmas, a very Merry Christmas to you. Oh, it's upside down here. There we go. And that looks good. Get that little swipe clean. And on the inside, what do we have? What did I put on the inside of this one? Happy Holidays. So we're going to get this little stamp out. And I'm going to set this one right there. And let me get this back out here. And I'm going to just do this little circle like that. And that there. And now the next part's going to take a little longer. So I'm going to set this aside. And I'm going to, this is the part we're going to do some masking on. Okay, so we're going to, the way you do a mask is, and I've done this, so we're going to, but I'll show you. You would take your masking paper like this, and you want to stamp on the dull side. I am going to stamp flowers. So you take your stamp, and then you stamp it on your masking paper or your Post-it note, whatever you have. I'm going to set that right there, and then you would cut it out with you just fussy cut it, and you cut it really close, and you just keep doing that. And you just keep doing that over and over again until you get it all cut out. And I have that already done. I always keep my mask inside of my case like this. Here it is. It's all fussy cut. Now I'll have 2 of them, so I'll just stick that right in there. I'm going to put that in there for another time. But now we're going to do our stamping. And so this is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And we're going to, that's got a little smudge right there. Here, I think I have another one that doesn't have a smudge. I always have a few extra just in case. Let me see, once that looks a little, it's hard for you to see that. Maybe I'll stamp without the grid. I usually do the grid paper just to protect it, but it's easier for you all to see it without. So we're going to, what I'm going to do is take the bottle. I have a bottle, a short bottle right there. I'm just going to put it so I have an idea where to put my mask. And I'm going to stamp my flowers wherever I think they go. I'm going to put them right about there. Okay, take that off because I don't need that right now. And there are the pretty flowers. It stamps very, very well. It's a nice, very well etched stamp. And then I'm going to put the mask over it. So this is the one that's real sticky on the back. And remember, when it's brand new, you can use this, for 20 cards probably, if not more. I'm going to just set that right over there. And then I'm going to put some greenery on. I'm going to stamp in my Mossy Meadow. I better close up this red because red is dangerous for sure. This is Mossy Meadow. And I am going to, I never did check the volume. I better just check and see that I'll put on there. Oh, there we go. And didn't check that this morning. Okay. Now I'm going to do some greenery. And it just sort of fits. But I'm going to keep it real close because I've got that mask on there. I'm stamping right over that mask like that. And I'm going to add a few more branches. Here's just a separate stamp with a little greenery. We're going to add that. Again, I'm going to stamp right over that flower. That mask allows us to do that, like that. Isn't that neat how that does that? And now we're going to put our bottle in there. What does my card look like? What color bottle do I have? Oh, I have a brown. It's a soft suede. So I'm going to close the green up, the mossy meadow, and get the soft suede. And I'm going to keep so I still have that mask down there. It looks messy, doesn't it? Looks really messy, but when I take this all off, now I'm going to stamp my bottle right up into those flowers. Give it a good press, like that. Looks good. And now, close that up. And now watch this. This is like magic. I'm going to pull that mask right off, and look how pretty that looks. That masking makes all the difference. And then I'm just going to put it right back in my case like that. And I've written stamp flowers first, put mask over it, then stamp greenery, just so that I now know. Sometimes you can do you could try. I tried doing the bottle first too, and it worked okay, but the flowers first is better, I think. Okay, so we're going to do our put this on our mask. We did our frame like this. There we go. Isn't that pretty? So that's going to go in there like that. And then our little tab that I did, I'm going to put some dimensionals on that. Just probably, I'll just put one dimensional, right? I usually use two, but I'm going to use one there. And let's see what's here. I want to have it on the bottom so it sort of holds that closed. So I'm going to just put it down here in the corner and see if we can get that. Yep. Got it. I got too much of the dimensional in there. Let's see if I can do it this way. You have to get it over there. And then this can just get tucked right in there like that. Just a little bit more. I think I have to move that dimensional down just a little bit. But perfect, right there. Now you could add Wink of Stella. I did on one card, and it made such a mess that I wrote no Wink of Stella because that red, this is Cherry Cobbler. I'm not Cherry Cobbler. The color is Cherry Cobbler. The ink is Mary Merlot, and that's why I've worn sort of a burgundy color shirt today, because Mary Merlot is sort of a good Christmas color. Okay, now we need some gems on the inside, and we need a bow, a little bit of a twine bow right there. We have one that I tied ahead of time. This one I used some of those swirly gold gems. They have sold out, so we're going to use something else. We could use either these flower adhesive. These are sort of pretty. They come in gold and rose gold. Or we could use these. I think these probably look a little bit more vintage looking, the brass. So I think I'll just use those. And then I'm going to get a glue dot for my bow. I tied a double twine bow. Twine is just such a good accent on this, I think. It gives it that right there. There we have it. And let me see once here. Get my take your pick tool, and I don't know, what do you think? Do you think we should, these little small ones, we're going to put a little copper one right there. I don't have too many of the other ones, so, I think we're going to use the bigger one. I'll put a big one right there. There on the next card I'm going to show you, there is a stamp with pine cones and the centers. There we have it. And just like that, and our card is finished. Just as easy as can be. Isn't that a pretty stamp? I think it's one that's sort of overlooked in the catalog. So there we have our card. And the other one that I did was, let me see, I did two other ones. This one has, I put this up here. You can do it wherever you want. And this one, I used those little flower gems. Happy Holidays. I did that one in green. So, and then I covered the envelopes with the designer paper because it's so pretty. Anyway, those are those cards, and I'll take pictures of those after I'm finished today. So let me pack this all up, and let me put that aside. I'm going to show you some other cards that were made with, oh, you know what, here, I think I'll show you a couple other joyfuls real quick while I can. Here's one I did with that little Santa's coming to town with a little penguin. And that's a joyful too. That's a horizontal one. Here's one from with the teacup. Another joyful flap. This one's a little bit from way back when this came out last May. So that's a joyfold. So anyway, those are fun. Now we're going to, here are a couple other ones that I've done with this bottle set. This one has the green. This one had a lot of fussy cutting. This one I did with the Merry Melody embossing folder. And this one has 3 bottles, and I did some masking again on those. Masking is a very old technique. It's a technique that I learned back when I lived in Missouri, and Shirley Hotop was my first stamping teacher. She's still there, and she's a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator now. But a long time ago, she was an angel stamper and some other things, and we did scrapbooking and mostly stamping. And most things I learned from Shirley, and just a sweet lady. This is the card we're gonna make. I've written, don't use Wink Stella because it's smeared on there. So I'm gonna remember that if I start using it, you can use it on the red if you want, or the Merlot, but then don't add it to the green. So we're gonna do this card, and we're using this set of embossing folders. I don't know if you have this. This is carrying over the tree rings, and this is the embossing folder. And then you can actually cut out all of those tree rings with this big die. You can actually put it in there. It's called a hybrid. I've cut out the white pieces, like this piece, with this. So it's really a neat set. I think we'll enjoy being able to use it again. So this actually goes right in here. This hat, you can use it different ways. And it's really sort of scary when you put it in there and you put your paper, and then you close it up and you send it through your machine, and it embosses and cuts at the same time. It crunches a lot, but it works, and it's designed. And Stampin' Up! Those are called hybrids. And so that's what we're going to be, I'm not going to physically do that for you because it's hard to bring the machine on the camera. But we'll do this card, and then we'll do a little talking at the same time. I'll tell you a little bit about some of the things that I've been doing, or my trip and things like that. Okay, we're going to do this card, and this is just an easy card, but it has a lot of parts to it. And so we're going to start with, a crumb cake base, and that is right there. Crumb case 5.5. This is a side closing crumb cake, 5.5 by 8.5. Scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to just take a sip of my hot tea. And I have been drinking a lot of tea, putting honey in it. We have honey from our farm where we're building our house, and I hope we get some more honey this year. The honey man hasn't delivered any yet. We still have some from last year. But anyway, we have bee boxes on our farm. Anyway, and that's where the honey comes from, the local honey. So the mat is going to be crumb cake. It's going to be color upon color, and it's 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I have run it through this embossing folder. And so I put it in, and I line it up like this along that. There's a line. Keep it nice and straight. Just put it in like that. Line it up, run it through. You always want to run your creased edge, your folded edge first, because otherwise they'll crack, and it comes out like this. So pretty cool. It's a really fun. You might not have used this since the beginning of the catalog came out, because we were using it all the time when we had the coordinating paper. So I'm going to add that to the card. take that off, and I'm going to add my adhesive right to my base, because this is sort of deep, so you could either use your Tombow green glue here, that works, that gets down in the grooves, or I like to do it this way actually, because I'm a pretty fast stamper, and I put it on there and then it'll stick really well. I'm going to have this big one right on the left side, like that. Give it a good press to get that glue down into all those creases. And then we've got that ready, and now we can do some stamping. So we're going to do our inside. We have an inside piece that's 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm going to just put some, we'll just put that right in here so I don't lose it, like that. And now we're going to do our stamping, okay? And I'm going to set that right there. We can get our stamp mat out, piercing mat, and we're going to do some stamping. Let me get my little pieces of scrap paper here. I've written stamp bottles and flowers on this. And then these are going to be either fussy cut or punched. So we're going to do our white. We're going to do our bottles first. My large bottle is going to be Express Mossy Meadow. I think I might have, I don't know if I used, Old Olive maybe on my first card. But we're going to do that. We're going to just stamp it down here on the bottom because it's going to go, the punch is going to go through it. So there's our bottle. And I just love this. I love the way these bottles look. I don't know. I think this stamp is retiring, but I think it's an awfully pretty one. Now we're going to do our short bottle, and that one's going to be in Mary Merlot. Where's the Cherry Cobbler? Yeah, it's Mary Merlot. And I honestly, I never use Mary Merlot except at Christmas time. And the month of November and December, I tend to use it quite a bit. Okay, so this one I'm just going to stamp that one right down here next to it. This one I'm going to fussy cut, let it soak in. It's a big stamp. There, it looks good. That piercing mat underneath it really makes the stamp perform better. Okay, we're going to punch out so here's the bottle punch. We have a long punch. It's the vintage bottle punch. And I'm going to punch that out with that. Like that. And there we have it. And then this one, I am going to fussy cut. And remember, when you're fussy cutting, you want to move your paper all around it. And not your scissors. You want to just keep fussy cutting it. Just curving the paper. And it's really quite easy. You sort of learn that in kindergarten. We often forget it. You don't move the scissors. You move the paper as you're fussy cutting. And there we have the bottle. And now we're going to, so those are the two pieces. And now we're going to do the flowers. And we are going to fussy cut those. Actually, I have them. I put that right there. We're going to do our flowers. And I'm going to get a nice, I think I'll turn it like this. There we go. Hold it. And it's a nice, very, very, very pretty stamp. Next Tuesday, I'm in a Facebook class. I am going to show you a new technique that I've just learned, and I'm just realizing this would probably be a very good stamp to use with that too. I already have a different stamp. I'm going to show you a new stamp, but this would work really well, I think. I'm going to put my mask on it like that, and now we're going to do some greenery again. So we're going to get our mossy green out, our mossy meadow green, and remember now that's the mask. I'm going to sort of touch like that, and there we go. We're going to add another one, another one like that, and then clean that stamp real well. Close up my green, and now we're going to take off this mask. Just pull it up like that. And isn't that neat how crisp and clean that looks. I should have done something first, and I didn't. I don't know if it's going how it's going to be now. There's this stamp. It's got pine cones and centers of the flowers. And I don't know that it's going to work now that I put the greenery in there first. I can see the centers. It might. We'll give it a shot. There are 3 little centers and 2 pine cones. And we'll see if it works or not. It's not a terrible loss if it doesn't. So I'm going to get my espresso, my early espresso, and I'm going to try to line up these. I'm going to try to line up. These are the 2 pine cones, or there are 3 pine cones actually, but there are 3 centers. There are 2 big centers and a small center. And I'm going to, so the 2 big centers are on the bottom, like this, and like that. And you can't see the pine cones real well, but I should have done that one first and then the leaves. But anyway, so that's that. And so what do we have? Oh, a Merry Christmas to you. And that stamp is, so we're going to fussy cut this, and we're going to stamp the leaves on this piece. We're going to put, I'm going to just check to see how that's got a notch down here and a notch right there. So I'm going to sort of stamp that verse. That's how I'm thinking on this. I'm going to stamp it toward the top, like this, off to the top left, like just like that. And then I'm going to do a little bit of greenery off to the sides like this. It's going to be covered up by the bottle. So, just like that. I'm going to put some like that. And some of that's going to get covered up. And let me see once now. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of, and then we're just going to assemble our card. Got these little pieces here. So, I have to tell you, I have to show you my ribbons from, let's see, where did I put them? I had them right here. Oh, here they are. When we went to On Stage, it was really fun. You know, we haven't had an event for 3 years. It was fun to be recognized. I walked across the stage 3 times, which was, and it was a little bit intimidating, but fun too. Anyway, we did that, and we were with our friends, and we stamped, and we saw people that we hadn't seen for years, and it was just a lot of fun. That was just great. We got presents and all kinds of fun things. Got to order from the catalog a little bit, just a few items, just a little bit early. So that was neat. And there were 5 girls that went with me, 5 team members out of all my team members. And we went to Wisconsin also, and we spent one night there and into Appleton, and we celebrated my mom's 96th birthday. She was getting over a bad cold and a cough, and of course I was beginning to get one. And but we had a really fun evening. My sister Chris and her husband AJ made a delicious dinner, and everything was beautiful. We played some games and just had a really fun time. My mom loved it. We did a card swap, and everyone gave my mom some cards, and she was just thrilled with all of that. And it was just a fun evening. Of course, then I was getting worse, so my sister took me to the emergency room that night. We stayed in the emergency room till like 2:30 in the morning. They said, well, I had influenza A. Well, I don't really think I did, but they gave me some medicine for that, but I never felt like I had the flu. But my lungs hurt, and so that's all fussy cut now. Anyway, then I had to wear a mask for a little bit and all that. But then I flew home, and then, of course, I think flying always makes things worse when you're sick. And then I got really sick when I got home. So it's been a tricky time. And I went to the doctor here. I went to urgent care here, and of course they said, no, you don't have influenza A. You have something else. But you don't have pneumonia or anything yet. So They still didn't give me an antibiotic. It gave me prednisone. Oh, that is a little crooked. So let me see once here if I can. There we go. That's better. Whoop, nope, it's still crooked. Let me see. I'm going to stand up, I think, and see if I can straighten this out. There we go. Anyway, well, I didn't get better. They gave me prednisone. That didn't help. It usually knocks it out with my asthma. And now I'm going to get this one. This one's going to go in there flat. I'm going to just put it right there. And, well, it didn't get better and it didn't. But then Thanksgiving, thankfully, our daughter-in-law, Millie, and our son, Andrew, had Thanksgiving last week at their house. And it's one of the first times in I don't know how many years that we've not done Thanksgiving. They have a brand new house. And anyway, so we had Thanksgiving at their house and it was wonderful. And except I didn't feel good. And then the next day my husband made me go to the urgent care again. And then because I was coughing, I couldn't sleep and coughing all night long. It was terrible. And they said I had bronchitis and gave me a different round of prednisone and more. This time they gave me an antibiotic, and almost immediately that antibiotic, I felt better the next day already. So we're going to put that on right there down. We're going to step that one up like that, I think, or put it right like that. And we're going to pop up our flowers. And let me see once here. Do that. So anyway, so I'm on the mend. I'm doing much, much better. And I'm just thrilled that I can sleep without coughing all night. I had codeine medicine and all that kind of stuff too. So, that's sort of enough about me, but I do ask your prayers for tomorrow. My nephew, Sam, I know more than 3 weeks ago I told you, my nephew, Sam, who's 35, was in a terrible accident and tree felling accident, crushed his pelvis. So exactly 1 month ago, he had surgery to repair like 8 or 9 broken bones in his pelvis. And he was doing rehab and all that stuff. And then they did a scan the other day, and they discovered that some of the pins have shifted and the bones are not repaired in, I don't know. The screws have shifted and their bones are not in, the plates are not in place. So tomorrow he has to go in. It will be probably another 4-hour surgery. Poor guy, he's just been very optimistic about the whole thing, and his girlfriend's there with him a lot of the time. They were hoping he was going to maybe go home by Thanksgiving. Now he's looking probably another several weeks up in the hospital and then in rehab before he is. So my sister and her husband are flying. My sister's flying out today after she finishes school. So I think I will add a little bit of Winca Stella just to the flowers. Anyway, so any prayers tomorrow, early in the morning. Sam is out in Massachusetts. My sister and her husband live in Madison, Wisconsin. So it's quite a trip for them. Now I probably should see how that red is bleeding. I should not have done that. I should have listened to my notes and not done that before. Merry Christmas to you, and then I can stamp something on the inside. I haven't, but I don't have let's see, what do I have here? I don't have really, oh, here I do. Merry Christmas to you, and then we're going to do Making Spirits Bright. We'll just stamp that right on the inside. So, let me see, now I haven't looked at a comment for all that time of talking. We'll do it in green, I think. Making Spirits Bright. It's a little tiny stamp, and just like that, pretty font. And let's put I think I'll put a little branch down at the bottom, maybe a couple little branches here. We'll just put these down there like that. That's enough, I think. Sometimes just a little bit of a little touch like that. And then we could color in our berries with some, oh, not that color. I don't know what color that is. Here, we'll just use this brown, a blend. This one is called Bronze. We'll just use that, and I'll just color in those little berries real fast. Give them a little touch of color. They probably should have been red. Oh dear. Let me add a little bit of red to that. I don't know why I colored them brown, just because there, we'll add a little touch of red. There's sort of red and brown. There we go. Not bad for correcting that mistake. And there we have it. And there's our card. And we don't have any gems on this one, so just the twine for an embellishment. And that's that. So now while we have that you here, I'm going to remember I will be look for my email. If you don't get my emails, please tell me and let me know so I can put you on my email list. We have a carryover list, and so we have not very many things that carry over. The gnome dies will carry over. We have a new gnome stamp in the catalog. I can't show you the inside. We can only show the outside of the cover. We can't show the inside until it goes live January 5th. Otherwise, I would show it to you. But so now starting Thursday, this is the catalog that everything is discounted on. And this is what the list looks like. It's called the Last Chance List. If you would like, once you see this, and it's got all these pages, it's like about 4 full pages. And if you would like to order something, please write it down, let me know, send it to me. I will be ordering first thing on Thursday morning. And I'm going to flip the camera back now. I'll be ordering first thing Thursday morning for myself. Demonstrators get to order a whole month ahead of time. And so also, I almost forgot. Just a second, let me get a sip here. Starting Thursday too, the clearance rack is going to be refreshed, and there are going to be lots of dies on there that still have stamps that are in the annual catalog. So that's happening on Thursday. So we have the Last Chance List Thursday. That's this one, plus the clearance rack. We won't see the clearance rack until Thursday morning. So you can always go to stampingup.com, or you can go to carinscrafts.stampingup.net. That's my website, and you can see things there. You don't have to order there, but you can look at it there, and that's always helpful too. Let's see, what else? And those of you who are demonstrators, you get to pre-order that day. It's a big day. So that's why I want to have my class. My Hope and Peace class is tomorrow. Remember, I still have a couple of openings for these cards. We have the little, everything using this pretty flocked paper and this gorgeous colors with the flocking and the foiling. Just really some neat cards, and the stamp that goes with that. So that is a fun class. And if you would like to take it by shipping method, if you live far away, and many times I ship, every week I ship classes. So that's that, and I will put today's measurements up after I get those all typed up. And I'll put that on YouTube, and I'll put it on Facebook. I'll put the measurements on Facebook too. But give me a little bit of time before I get all that done. Alrighty, that is it. Let's see if we have any questions. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks, Jan. I appreciate that. Oh, hey, Judy. Good to see you this morning. Glad you can always watch it from the beginning. Oh, good. Thank you very much. Oh, Martina said she's going to make a Joy Fold card right away. Well, good for you. If you give me a little bit, I'll have it all typed up for you. And I thank you all for joining me today. And I will see you next week. And starting next week, I'll have new ideas for the catalog. And I already have a project all done for next week. I'm really excited about it. Something I just learned. Okay, that's it. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye. Have a good day.